Has something happened?
My daughter, Pavlena. Remember her? She was here when I was healing you two.
I remember. What's wrong with her?
She's missing. It's not like her to be wandering around like that. She goes to Troskowitz to sell baskets, but she knows I can't manage on my own, so she never stays away for long. These old eyes of mine can't see nothing much. Pavlena has to take care of me. She's a good girl, that lass of mine. I'm very worried about her. You understand? What if something's happened to her? God forbid. I can't look for her myself, but you could. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I've no one else to turn to.
Do you think anyone might want to hurt Pavlena?
These are evil times, Henry. I dread to think what could happen to a young girl alone on the road. And besides, the folk in Troskowitz ain't too fond of us.
What have the Troskowitz people got against you? Did something happen?
I'd rather not talk about it, Henry. I wouldn't want you to get the wrong impression about us.
You live completely alone in the middle of the woods. Don't you think I've already got a bad enough impression of you?
And where else would we live, you genius, when we're not wanted? Don't go digging up old wrongs, Henry. And don't insult us.
Where exactly was Pavlena going?
To Troskowitz. She was taking wicker baskets she'd made. She sells them there and uses the coin to buy what we need. Sometimes it takes her a while, but this time she said she'd be right back. I have a bad feeling about this.
Did it occur to you she might have run off? She's a young girl. And pretty. What kind of life does she have here in the woods? Maybe she wanted to live a little.
You don't know Pavlena. She's not like that. If she wanted to live a little, she'd tell me straight out. She doesn't keep things from me. Don't imagine I keep her here against her will, or that I don't know what it means to be young.
Pavlena is young and, well, no offence, but you seem a little old to be her mother. Is she really your daughter?
She is. Not by birth, but that doesn't change anything. Her mother died in childbirth, and there was no one but me to take care of her.
And who was Pavlena's birth mother?
A girl from the charcoal burners. They left the county, and I think she had no one else. I buried her myself. No one came for her.
And do you know anything about Pavlena's father?
I don't know who he was. Pavlena's mother was very young, and the fella surely abandoned her when her belly grew. She never told me nothing about him.
Well, as a midwife, I'm sure you've seen it often. Well, that the mother doesn't survive childbirth.
All too often, lad. But that's the lot of women. Or is it any different where you're from?
No, it's true enough.
See then? Now, can we just keep our minds on Pavlena?
All right, good wife. I'll try to find Pavlena for you.
Thank you, Henry. Like I said, she was heading for Troskowitz. You should start looking there.
All right. I'll ask around there for her.
And maybe you could look in her room in the loft. My old legs ain't up to climbing stairs, but you might find some clues there.
So, Pavlena, what have you left for me? Like she got up and went straight out. She's got unfinished work here. Hey, this is a boy's cap. Does Pavlena wear it? Or did someone leave it here? I had a look in Pavlena's place in the loft.
And? Did you find anything?
I found a cap there. A man's cap. I don't suppose Pavlena would wear something like that.
You're saying she had some young man here? I'd surely have noticed.
I don't know, good wife. I'm just saying what I found.
Could she have found herself a beau in Troskowitz?
She's got unfinished work there. She weaves baskets.
Aye, she usually has a few on the go. But she took them to the market in Troskowitz. We've got nothing here but what we make ourselves, or find in the woods. Pavlena weaves baskets very nicely. Folk buy them from her.
Halt, search. Show me what you've got on you.
Go ahead and search me. I've got nothing to hide.
Everything in order. Carry on. Christ, that stings! At least to stop the bleeding.
Have you seen a young girl here? Her name is Pavlena. She wears a headscarf and sells baskets.
I don't know her, but you can ask my father. He'll probably be in the rat house somewhere. Farewell.
Has anyone seen Roman?
What are you yelling for? What's going on?
I'm looking for my friend Roman. He works with us in the woods and we need him now. But I can't find him. Have you seen him?
I haven't met any Roman.
If he's off again with that basket girl from Zhelyov.
Are you talking about Pavlena? I'm looking for her.
Aye, that's her. Roman's been teaching her about nature, if you get me.
Where do you think Pavlena and Roman might be?
Not long ago, Roman was talking over a beer about how him and Pavlena wanted to leave and start a new life. Somewhere where no one knows her and her ma.
You think they'd really do it?
I took it all with a grain of salt, but after what he told me last time, anything is possible. For Christ's sake, he's got a whole house his pa left him. He wouldn't just leave it on account of her, would he?
Well, I don't think either that Pavlena would just run off and leave her mother alone.
You never know with women. And what's more... No, I shouldn't say nothing about that. Best to go and look in Roman's house. He wouldn't just leave empty-handed, right?
All right. Let's go and take a look at Roman's.
Great. That is, you can go there.
Hang on, you said you two were friends. Why would I go there alone?
For one thing, I have to work. And besides, how would it look if anyone saw me breaking down his door? My reputation would be ruined. Whereas you, no offense, you're a stranger. You don't have to worry about your good name, do you? But me, I'd lose my livelihood.
Well, I can do it. But you ought to give me something. For insurance. I'm the one sticking my neck out here. Well, if I'm caught there, I'll need a few groschen to bribe the catchpoles. So I don't end up in the stocks.
True enough. Here you are. This ought to do it. After you search the place, come back and let me know what you found. I'll be around here somewhere.
I should eat something. Nobody home. But maybe Pavlena was here. It's set for 2. Freshly eaten. And there are the baskets Pavlena came here to sell. They were here for sure. Maybe they just went for a stroll. Dushko might know about their favorite spots.
I searched Roman's house.
And what did you find?
Well, there's no one there, but Pavlena had been there for sure. The table was set for 2, and I found the baskets that she sells too.
You're right. It sure does look like she was there.
It can't have been long ago either. The food was still fresh. Any idea where they might have gone?
Well, they've got a favorite spot down by the stream. You could try looking there.
Where exactly?
There's a ditch leading from Roman's house to the stream. Follow it down the hill. When you come to a place where the stream flows between the 2 big boulders, turn left and go straight. There it is, under an old linden tree.
All right. Thank you.
But, mind you don't walk into the middle of anything, awkward. And tell that lazy bastard to get his ass to work. I'm not going to do his work for him. Take care, friend.
Great. Pissing down again.
I'm looking for Pavlena, the daughter of the Herbwoman from Zhelyov. Do you know her?
Aye, I do. Pavlena still comes here from time to time, selling baskets, ointments and whatnot. I ain't seen her around in a while, though. Why are you looking for her?
She hasn't been home for a long time, so Bozhena sent me to look for her. When she left, she was heading here.
If I was you, I'd go and ask at the rat house. Or Jezhek the cooper. That old goat had his eye on her one time. Only she wouldn't have him if he was the last man alive. Can't say I blame her. That Jezhek's a drunken sot.
Do you think anyone would want to harm Pavlena?
Bozhena's not too popular here since that misfortune with Jakesh's wife, Ludmilla. But no one holds a grudge against Pavlena. She was only a young lass at the time.
What was that about a misfortune with Ludmilla?
That was way back. She was the midwife here. She'd give the women herbs and whatnot when they called for her. But then something happened when she was helping out at Jakesh's. His wife, Ludmilla, died, and a child was stillborn. A tragedy it was, and then Bozhena, she left.
Just like that?
Well, to tell the truth, we drove her out.
Oh? Why was that?
Better ask Jakesh if you want to know more. He's often by his son's grave. It's next to the farm.
What's this Jezhek like? And what do you mean about him having his eye on Pavlena?
He wanted to get married, and no sensible girl around here would have a drunkard like him, so he figured Pavlena might be an easier bet. He promised her a home in the village, but the girl wasn't so dumb as to fall for it. He's hardly got 2 groschen to rub together, and his house ain't no palace neither. All she'd have out of it is a heartache, and a bunch of brats as pig ugly as their old man.
And where might I find this Jezhek?
If he ain't boozing here at the tavern, he'll be on the way here or at home.
Thanks.
And do you think this Jezhek might have done something to her? Like abduct her because she scorned him?
Nah, he ain't got it in him. He's all mouth, but he'd never raise his hand to a woman. And even if he did, Pavlena would probably give him a hiding. Just recently, he got a black eye from this skinny fella here. He's a weakling and a wretch. He wouldn't have a chance with Pavlena.
I hear you're interested in Pavlena.
What's it to you?
Well, Pavlena's gone missing. Do you know anything about that?
Fuck, wait. No, I haven't seen her lately. And I got a pasting in the tavern, so I haven't been out lately. You can ask there.
Aye. I heard about that famous fight of yours.
So you see, I wouldn't wish no harm on Pavlena, even though she didn't want me. But I'm not sure you could say the same about that ginger-headed Roman of hers. That's where I'd look if I was you. His cottage is on the road to the butcher's.
Unto Mary, and she conceived of the Holy Spirit. Hail Mary. And Mary said,
Can I ask what happened between you and that midwife, Bozhena? I heard you banished her from the village because of some mishap with your wife.
That was no mishap. The witch killed my son and damned him to hell.
Wait a moment. Start from the beginning. What do you mean she killed and damned your son?
My wife, Ludmilla, gave birth to 3 daughters. Quick and easy every time. The village women often scream all day and night before they bring their babies into the world. Not my Ludmilla. When she had Marushka, it was all over before the midwife even got here. But when Yaroslav was coming into the world, you know, I knew already I'd finally have a son. I never sent for no help. Why would I? After all, Ludmilla done it all on her own 3 times. And besides, that Bozhena is an unclean woman and a witch. Only this time, something went wrong. Of course, I wasn't there. Being a God-abiding man, I was outside. But Marushka comes running out, shouting, "Pa! Send for Bozhena! Ma's poorly!" I thought twice about it, but then I sent for her. She came along with a little girl, Pavlena, and a whole sack of herbs. She started brewing right away, and before the night was out, she was pouring God knows what kind of concoction down Ludmilla's throat. It's a wonder she didn't poison her, the crone. I couldn't get a wink of sleep all night. It wasn't till daybreak that Bozhena came out of the house, carrying in her arms. They could see right off it was a boy. Like I said, only Yaroslav came out feet first. And as they were pulling him out, well, he was all Mother of God. I can't even say it. It was that Bozhena's doing, I tell you. If she hadn't pulled him out and left Ludmilla to manage herself, he could have lived.
So you still blame her for it?
And why shouldn't I? I haven't told you the half of it yet. I asked the priest, and he told me every midwife has the sacred right to perform baptism when things go wrong. Like when it looks bad for the child, see? She can baptize him, make sure he gets to heaven. And you know what Bozhena did?
What?
Not a thing. She looked at that little body lying still and didn't do a damned thing. And my wife died a few hours later. So I'm sure you understand what I did after. That same evening, I got the other fellas from the village, and we drove that damned witch out beyond the boundary stone.
I see. She lives in the woods now.
A good thing, too. She hasn't shown up here since. Many times I told myself we should have done more to her, so she'd know how I felt.
Listen, Bozhena's daughter has gone missing, and I get the feeling from what you're saying that you're not exactly unhappy about it. So I'll ask you straight up. Do you know anything about it? Do you want to hurt Pavlena to pay Bozhena back for the death of your son?
I understand why you might think that, but I would never do anything like that. Don't tell nobody, but since Ludmilla died, I go weak at the knees if I only see blood. It's like I'm standing next to her bed, again like that time. I never want to see a corpse again in my life. Besides, if I wanted to get my own back on Bozhena, I'd never take it out on her daughter. The girl's not to blame for anything. She was only little when it happened. I curse that old hag often enough. When I've had a drink or two, I wish the worst on her, so she'd know how I feel. But as God is my witness, I'd never stoop to murder on account of it.
Who are you praying for?
For my son, Yaroslav.
How come he's buried there and not at the cemetery?
He died during birth and was never christened, so he couldn't be buried in the cemetery.
God have mercy. I'm sorry about that.
Aye, me too. If it hadn't been for that treacherous old hag, he wouldn't be here under a tree. He'd be in the churchyard, as he ought to be. The poor, innocent soul. Or standing right here next to me.
When did your son die?
Well, Yaroslav would have been 5 years old now.
What about your other children?
One of my daughters got married and moved out. Marushka and Olina are still here. Once they get married, I'll be left all alone on the farm.
Why? One of them could live on the farm with her husband, couldn't she? Lots of fellows would give the right arm for a place like this.
Aye, true enough. Only a father should pass his livelihood on to his son, goddammit! Don't tell me it's different where you come from.
Well, I only got to know my father recently. He's the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kobyla.
You, a noble? That's a hard one to swallow.
Just because I'm not dressed up in my Sunday best doesn't mean my father's not a noble. I really am Sir Radzig's bastard. My ma was a commoner, so she couldn't marry Sir Radzig. Fortunately, his loyal subject Martin took her in and raised me like his own.
Out of duty?
To be honest, I couldn't tell you. But however it started, they became close. And later, when they died, Sir Radzig took charge of me. So actually, I have two fathers.
God's will. There are times I wish I'd died before Yaroslav. I'd have saved myself all the misery since then. And all that's still to come.
I don't have any more questions. Thanks.
Take care, friend.
This must be the place Dushko was telling me about. How the local lads bring their girls over here.
Christ, there must have been a fight here.
A trail of blood. I should see where it leads.
This is surely Pavlena's. A piece of her dress. This doesn't look good.
If I had Mutt here, I could let him sniff it. Oh well. Never mind.
Blood? I hope it's not Pavlena's. It's covered in blood. Used as a weapon, maybe. Jesus. This must be Roman. Someone buried him here.
Mother of God. Ah, and the body's been munched on by a pig.
I should try and find out who's herding those pigs. Maybe they saw something.
Ladybird! Ladybird! Greetings.
I found a stray pig.
That's great. I lost a sow somewhere. Where is she?
Not so fast. It's munching on a corpse back there in the forest.
Blessed Virgin! What corpse?
My guess is it's Roman, a local woodcutter.
By all that's holy! I saw him going towards the woods with his girl, and now you tell me he's dead. Oh, surely she didn't kill him. Oh, Christ, I think I'm gonna throw up.
You say you saw Roman with his girl. You mean Pavlena?
Aye, that's the name, Pavlena. I saw the pair of them going down towards the stream. Probably for a smooch. The two of them are pretty close. That is, they were. Oh, you think the girl might be mixed up in his death?
I hope not. I'm trying to find her too. Who are you?
My name is Hugo. I heard hogs. I take them to the woods to forage for acorns and nuts. But I ain't got nothing to do with no cops, if that's what you're asking.
Have you seen anything suspicious going on around here?
Suspicious? Like how?
I don't know. Someone carrying or dragging something? That corpse didn't walk there on its own.
Hang on now. I did see something a bit odd. One of the farmhands came from the woods in a big hurry. And he was carrying a spade.
Which one of them was it?
Straw! That is Slavobor. But everyone calls him Straw. He works on Jakesh's farm. A big farmstead in the south of the village. Oh, do you think he could have killed Roman?
Who knows? But it does seem like he buried him.
God's truth.
Thanks for your help. I better go and find that farmhand.
Aye, and if he really done it, give the murdering fucker what he deserves. Piggy, come here.
Are you the one they call Straw?
Yeah? Why?
I know everything. I know you buried Roman's body in the woods.
What? How could you? That's not true!
It's no use trying to wriggle out of it. I have a witness.
Shit. Fuck! I didn't want nothing to do with it, I swear. It's all that girl's fault.
Where is Pavlena?
I ain't telling you nothing.
Listen, if you tell me everything that happened, it'll go easier for you. Confess to everything, and nothing will happen to you.
But we killed Roman. They'll hang us for that. I can't let you go. Now you know everything. Fuck you, whoreson.
I give up!
Oh, Jesus! I'm hit! I yield! Mercy!
Had enough!
Enough! Enough! I'll tell you everything. We didn't want it to end like this, I swear. I'll tell you everything.
Speak up!
Well, it all began in the tavern. We were boozing with Jakesh. He don't go to the tavern much, but when he does, me and my brother go along too. Even though we're just his hired farmhands, he buys us wine.
Yeah? Go on.
When Jakesh got drunk, he started remembering that day when his wife and son died. It happened during childbirth, and to this day, Jakesh blames Bozhena, the Herbwoman, for it. She was the midwife. I don't know if it was really her fault, but anyway, the boy died and she didn't baptize him, even though she had every right to do it. The little fella died unchristened.
So his soul is damned for all eternity. That's not right.
That's awful. But what's it got to do with anything?
When he had 3 or 4 jugs inside him, Jakesh started on about how he'd give anything to see Bozhena suffer the same pain as he did. It wasn't enough for him that they drove her out of the village that time. He wanted to pay her back even more.
I hope for your own good, this isn't going where I think it's going.
No! Listen, my brother Ota, he was always the sly one out of the 2 of us. He came up with this idea that we'd lie in wait for Pavlena when she came to sell her baskets.
I see. Bozhena's daughter for Jakesh's son.
No, it wasn't like that. We didn't set out to kill her, just to give her a bit of a hiding and tell her not to come back here again. Then we'd lie to Jakesh that she was dead, and he'd reward us with... well, he's got 2 girls to marry off, and Marusha's a pretty one. But he'd never let either of them marry a hired hand unless I'd done him a worthwhile service. See?
Tell me what you did with Pavlena, you fucking idiot.
We followed her along the path to the pond, and then we jumped her. Only then her fella turned up, Roman. As soon as he saw us, he charged us like a wounded boar. And he held my brother by the throat and pounded him like a madman. So I grabbed a rock and smashed him over the head with it. I never seen so much blood. I didn't mean to kill him, I swear.
God almighty. And what did you do with Pavlena?
She was stunned when she saw what happened. So my brother grabbed her and dragged her into the rocks while I went to bury Roman. We couldn't just let her go after she'd seen everything.
Where in the rocks?
To the south of Zhelyov. There's a kind of gorge there. An abandoned poacher's hide with a ladder leading to it. I've told you everything. What are you going to do with me?
Both of you should be tried justly for what you did. I'll take you to the bailiff and leave the rest to him.
Kurva, I really didn't want it to end like this.
I brought you Slavobor. They call him Straw, from Jakesh's farm. He and his brother attacked Pavlena and killed Roman. Then Straw buried him in the woods.
For the love of God, Straw! Is this true?
We didn't mean to kill anyone. We just wanted to give Pavlena a scare, and Roman went for us. It was self-defense.
Henry, is it true what he's saying?
No, I don't believe a word Straw says. He and his brother lay in wait for Pavlena like treacherous cutthroats. He should pay for it. A life for a life.
Those are harsh words, Henry, but I'll take them into account. I'll lock up Straw for now, and he'll be tried. Thanks for bringing him in. Roman was an honest Christian.
Stop there! Don't come any closer, or I'll cut her throat! Don't move, you horse son! Who the fuck are you?
Easy. There's nothing to fear. I won't hurt you. Just look at me. I wouldn't hurt a fly. I just want to talk to you.
Oh yeah? What do you want to talk about, eh? You don't know shit! You've no idea what that girl and her witch of a mother did!
Calm down. We can sort it all out. I know Pavlena and her mother. They saved my life.
Ha! And you've come looking for her out of gratitude? Tell me who sent you.
I've had enough of this. What kind of a man are you? Hiding behind a girl.
What?
You're not man enough to face me?
You bastard!
Come on then! Let her go and we'll fight it out!
Shut up and save your threats! You take one step towards me and I'll slit the girl's throat. And then I'll deal with you. What the fuck are you doing here?
Don't jump to conclusions. No one sent me.
And you know Pavlena by name? A likely story.
Oh, shit.
Stop bullshitting me, or it'll end badly for you. Who the fuck sent you here?
Her mother sent me. She's worried about Pavlena.
Shit. I might have known that old witch would send someone. Kurva. I never wanted it to end like this. You gotta believe me. I just wanted to give Pavlena a scare, but then that fool Roman got mixed up in it and... I never meant to kill anyone! Shit!
Take it easy.
Don't fucking tell me to take it easy! How did you get here? My dog Bristly was guarding the entrance. What did you do to him, you bastard? And where's my brother? He should have been here long ago. Talk, or I'll slit her throat.
I know everything. I know what happened that time between Jakesh and Bozhena.
Then you know we were in the right.
I don't know what Jakesh told you, but he certainly doesn't want Pavlena harmed. She was just a little girl when it happened. You can't punish her for it.
Fuck! I know! Only we're murderers now, and that can't be undone.
Well, there's always a way out. Let Pavlena go, and we'll talk things through. Your brother is fine. He sent me here to talk to you. He doesn't want you to kill Pavlena.
Why would he take you into his confidence?
I promised him help. And I can help you, too.
Quiet, damn it! I have to think.
Your dog was outside, all right, but he paid no attention to me. It's always been like that with me and dogs. I suppose I smell good to them.
Lucky for you. Otherwise, Bristly would rip your ass off.
I don't know what more I can tell you. It's time for you to make your mind up.
You don't want to burn in hell, do you? Repent before God, and he'll forgive you. Let Pavlena go.
She knows everything. She'll tell on me and I'll be fucked!
Well, Pavlena can say what she likes, but it'll make no difference if I have a word with Lord von Berghoff. Then you won't have to fear the bailiff or anyone else.
What? You could do that?
Sure. You can see I belong to the gentry.
That could maybe work. All right. I'll let her go. All right. Just take it easy.
You swine!
I'm letting her go.
Die!
Look!
Die! Die! That's for Roman! You bastard!
You killed him. But he let you go.
So what? He deserved nothing better.
No, you're right. He had it coming.
Yes, for what he did to Roman. I have to get out of here. Will you take me back home?
Sorry, but I want to clear something up before we go.
What's that?
Tell me something about Roman. What was he like?
He was a woodcutter in Troskowitz. We were... together. Sorry. I can't talk about it now.
Are you alright? You're not hurt?
No, I'm fine. Just a few scratches. It's nothing.
How did you get here?
Me and Roman were going down to the stream. He went back to get something, and I went on ahead. Those two bastards jumped me by the stream. I don't know what they wanted to do to me, but Roman stepped in. Only one of them grabbed a rock and...
I know. You don't have to say any more.
When it was all over and Roman was lying on the ground, Otter tied me up and dragged me here. I tried to make a run for it, but that bastard set his dog on me.
That's all I need to know.
So, can we please go now?
Can you make your own way home? I'd rather have another look around here, to be on the safe side.
Yes, I think I can find my way. They didn't blindfold me, so I know how we went. We'll meet at our hut.
Watch out for yourself.
Henry,
What?
thanks for coming here for me. You saved my life.
Come on. I'll escort you home.
All right, let's go.
Here we are. Pavlena's fine.
Pavlena, let me look. Are you all right?
I'm fine, Ma. They
They abducted her.
God almighty. Who would do such a thing?
They were hired hands from Troskowitz.
And did they do anything to you?
No, they just tied me up. But they were Jakesh's hands. They would have killed me.
Jakesh? I might have known he wouldn't leave us in peace. Hasn't he hurt us enough already? Isn't it enough that we have to live here because of him?
Ma.
I knew it would come to this. Henry, I need one last service from you.
I'd be glad to help.
Jakesh is to blame for everything. For us being driven out, for Pavlena being abducted.
And for everything else.
Everything leads back to him and his old hatred. We'll never have peace as long as he's alive.
What are you trying to say?
I want you to kill him.
What? Are you serious?
Yes. It's either him or us.
Bozhena, don't you know that that path leads nowhere good? They hurt Pavlena, yes, but you mustn't do anything. Murder is a sin.
No, Henry. Enough is enough. When Jakesh accused us of killing his son, I did nothing. When they drove us out of the village, I did nothing. When we had to forage in the woods to survive and spent the winter shivering over dying embers, I did nothing. And now, when Jakesh tried to kill my daughter, you tell me I should do nothing? No, lad. This can't go on.
And what if someone then avenges Jakesh's death on you?
Let them. I've had enough. Why would I make peace with someone who only wants to hurt us?
I don't know. There's just been enough death already.
When is it going to end?
It'll end with Jakesh's death. There's no other way. If you think you can convince Jakesh, go ahead and try. But I can tell you now it'll come to nothing.
Jakesh told me how it was with his son. He said you could have baptized him, but you didn't.
What? Are you trying to say now that he's in the right? That child was stillborn, and his mother needed help. Should I have let her die to christen her dead child?
I understand. That wouldn't be right.
Jakesh didn't think so.
I'm not getting involved in any murder as long as there's a chance of talking it over. I'll try to patch things up between you and Jakesh, even if you don't think it'll work out.
As you wish. But when you fail, you'll know what needs to be done. Otherwise, this will never end.
In Christ our Lord, Amen. I'm here.
Look, I know relations between you and Bozhena the Herbwoman aren't good, but it's time to put an end to the animosity.
Where are you going with this? That witch deserves no pity.
I understand your bitterness, and I'm sorry about your son. Bozhena would certainly have saved him if she could, but whatever happened between you, it has to end now. Bozhena came very close to losing her daughter on account of your feud.
Your farmhands abducted her, and they killed her sweetheart.
But I had nothing to do with that. They did it of their own free will, not on my orders.
That means nothing. They did it because of you. They wanted you to be indebted to them.
But that's not my fault, and I don't see why I should have to make up with Bozhena on account of it.
Listen, I know a thing or two about revenge. And believe me, sometimes you just have to say enough and turn the other cheek. Because otherwise, it will never end.
You know nothing. I can't simply forgive her.
Well, then do it on account of Pavlena. After all, she's not to blame for anything. But she's the one who's suffering most from your feud.
Christ almighty. You're talking like the parish priest. I'll send Bozhena. Compensation. I never wanted anything to happen to her daughter, and she's the one who suffered most from that banishment. She can't have been more than 10 years old. I give my word that I won't do anything bad to them, and those two fools of hands, they won't show up here again. And if they do, I'll haul them off to the bailiff myself.
I've already dealt with your hands.
Oh. Good. Good. But my offer still stands. Bozhena and Pavlena could return to the village.
Very well. It's about time this chain of vengeance was broken for good. Give me the money, and I'll take it to Bozhena. But God alone knows whether she'll forgive you.
Thank you. It's time for us all to get on with our lives. I hope Bozhena will understand that.
Ave Maria.
I talked to Jakesh and explained everything to him. He agreed to make amends. His hands acted on their own accord, and he's sorry about it, mostly because of Roman and Pavlena.
What does that mean? That Pavlena can go to Troskowitz and no one will trouble us anymore?
Yes, but that's not all. He gave me some coin for Pavlena, too, as compensation for Roman. Even though he wasn't Pavlena's relative, Jakesh wants to show his sympathy for her loss. Here it is.
Thank you, Henry. In the end, you were right. If only we'd made peace with Jakesh before it all went so far.
Well, at least Pavlena is safe.
I don't know what I'd do without her. We'll always be obliged to you, Henry. If you ever need anything, you know where to come. And you should at least keep half of Jakesh's coin.
No way. I can't take your money. You helped us before, and I helped you in return. So keep the coin.
Well, as you wish, Henry. You're a good man. Thank you for everything. Take care.